Man United star leaving for China. Man City signing 13-year-old Wonderkid. Strap yourself in, it's time for some totally interesting transfer stories.
Tits.
We start off with a reputable source in the Daily Star who are saying that West Ham have said to Marseille, pay up or shut up.
That's exactly what came out of Bilic's mouth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Look, listen, is that Marseille again? You pay up or you shut up. Problem with this is that Bilic's the hypocrite. Look at how they're dealing with Scott Hogan. It's like, oh, we're getting irritated because Marseille are pissing about with kind of several bids, trying to get the best deal for Marseille. And they're like, we'll give you 6 million for Scott Hogan.
Higher.
We'll give you 8 million for Scott Hogan.
Higher.
We'll give you 11 million for Scott Hogan. You're like,
Stop fucking about.
Just fucking pay what they want or fuck off.
Yeah. Look, you've all played Football Manager, and if you're saying that you haven't, you're a liar. You put in the bid, they reject it, you put higher. Just pay the asking price.
It literally takes 5 minutes to do.
Sticking with West Ham, they are signing someone though.
Who's that?
The Hogan thing's not happening, but Jose Font looks like he's coming in for 8 million from Southampton. Seems like a bit of a strange buy considering he's the club captain of Southampton.
Yeah.
And he's 33 years old.
8 million's a lot of money, but if he goes into West Ham, they've got troubles at the back. You can see their logic in it. It's a bit strange why you would want to leave Southampton though, because in terms of money, you're joking.
Yeah.
Really?
I think he's one last payday. I also think it might be a bit of confusion and he might have had an absolute nightmare here because Mendes, who's his agent, he's got links with United. In the summer, he was linked with United. Man United, that is. I reckon it's got to January. It's been poor communication. He's gone, look mate, I've got United in for you.
Yeah.
He's like, brilliant. Several ties, kicks the door down, put it out, like, get me out of here. I'm done.
Yeah.
From United.
Yeah, he's like, well, I can't go fucking back to Southampton. They hate me now.
Yeah, he's fucked.
I fucking got to end up there in that shit heap.
Is he better off at West Ham or was he better off at Southampton? Which one is the better club to be playing for right now and which one's got a better future? Let us know in the comments below.
So what does this mean for Virgil van Dijk, Jim?
Well, on a personal note, I feel like he needs to get his hair cut. But that aside, let's stick with the transfers.
What are we talking about? He's got a good haircut.
No, he's not. It's awful. He's got
All right, Vidal Sassoon.
Oh, piss off, mate. What's going on here? You watched it today, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm really.
You can't sell both of those main centre-backs that have been a huge part of their success. I reckon he'll go in the summer, but no way during January. It'd be absolute suicide for Southampton.
Fabian Delph has struggled for game time since Pep Guardiola took over at Manchester City. He's played just 4 games this season and Leeds, rather bizarrely, are interested in taking him back to Ellen Road.
I mean, it's a sweet story. Going home, back to Ellen Road, just as they're sorting themselves out and may get into the Premier League. But 1, that's a massive gamble. 2, it's absolute bullshit because of the wages that he's got. 90k a week. You're going to walk away from that to go play at Leeds?
Going back to Leeds is bizarre. Surely you'd get into another Premier League club.
Absolutely. This is absolute bollocks. There's no chance of
Hull
this
would
happening.
take him.
But it's tough times for Delph. At the start of the season, he was the guy. He was the next Mascherano. He was the next Jerome Boateng.
Yeah, they tried to put him as defence, didn't they? He's kind of to redevelop him as a defensive midfielder and a defender because he's kind of the same height as Mascherano. There was the kind of comparisons, and that was it. Guardiola looked at him and thought.
Time for a bit of cheeky Chinese Super League transfer action now, and Man United look like they're going to be selling a player to Shandong Luneng.
Who's that?
Or they've been linked at least with Ashley Young, £10 million deal, 5.25 million quid a year in wages. Ashley Young's 31. Is this a good move for him? What do you think?
Well, he hasn't played in how long? 2 months?
He hasn't started the game in 2 months for Man United.
Yeah, I think he's a class below what Mourinho wants. He's 31, big money. You know, who's going to really want Ashley Young now? He's too old to be taught a new system, new ideas. You know, Pochettino, for example, would never look at someone like him because of his age and, you know, hard to train. Why not just go over to China and play some shit football and earn loads of money?
Yeah.
If you're Ashley Young.
What I like about this is the golden years for Man United squad players. Back in the day, someone like Clayton Blackmore, he'd have to go off to Middlesbrough. Ashley Young, he gets to go off to China and make more money than he ever has before. I also think Ashley Young is trying to get away after the Telegraph expose exposed him.
I like to match up the chips in length. That is actually quite weird. So what? It's all coming out. My secrets are coming out.
First they stung Allardyce, now they sting Ashley Young.
Pricks. And finally, a transfer that might have gone under the radar for a lot of people, but Man City have spent 175k on Finley Burns, who's a defender for Southend. He's also 13 years old.
Yeah.
Now, they've paid 150k more than they were obliged to under the Elite Performance Plan, player performance plan. But still, there's something about this that feels a little bit nasty.
Well, first off, 150,000 is half of Aguero's weekly wage, so that's absolutely nothing, although more than they were obliged to play, but a drop in the ocean for Man City. It's a difficult one. It doesn't help someone like Southend because he can't sign professional contracts at the age he is, so they would have potentially lost him for nothing if they'd have just waited. But it's a shame for the fans, really, because you potentially got what you'd imagine to be a world-class prospect at the age of 13. A lot can happen in that time. But he's going to be trained to be the player he can be at Man City's facilities, and he would, he's got a better chance of making it there, you would think, than at Roots Hall. So
the weird thing is there's good money being paid, like you say, but the club is missing out. They don't know how good this guy's going to be, and he's also for Man City. It shows the disparity between the big clubs and the small clubs. That, as you say, that amount of money is literally a drop in the ocean for them. So you might as well buy him, even if he never plays a game for Man City. They still are going to be making a massive profit on him, just from the fact of saying he's a Man City youth player, if he makes it through the ranks. What's being lost here is what's best for Finley Burns. I wonder if the pressure of that kind of transfer fee could weigh heavy on him. The other side of it is he's getting great development at Man City. You've got an incredible complex and invested a huge amount of money in it.
yeah.
But we may never say those words again, Finley Burns. We may never speak of him again because of the pressure of it.
Yeah, possibly, but I think...
And who's missed out?
Well,
He's missed out, Southend have missed out. I think it's all a very tricky
I
situation.
don't think Southend as a club have missed out here. I think they're going to benefit massively from this. If he does get through to the first team, they're going to end up being paid parachute payments down. £150,000, what was it in total?
175k.
175k in total is a lot of money to Southend. If he makes it through to the first team, they're going to benefit. So there is that, and I think Man City will have things like psychologists, counselling. They're going to be able to protect him and develop him in a way that previously these starlets haven't been able to be protected. So I don't think there's an issue there. I just think my main issue is how easily it is for big clubs to poach these players.
From a sentimental point of view, QPR, Raheem Sterling, he went when he was 15 to Liverpool. We have made a lot of money off that transfer and the transfer after when he went to Man City. But as I say, from a sentimental point of view, I would have loved to have seen Raheem Sterling
You
tear
just
it
want to
up.
watch him play, didn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about this. Is this something that should be reported? Is it putting too much pressure on these players at a young age? And is that a fair amount? 175k for a 13-year-old is obviously a huge amount. But who's missing out in all of this? Let us know in the comments below. That's it for another totally interesting transfer set of stories. That's tits. We'll be back next week. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like. Subscribe to Ball Street, cause we're good. It makes sense.